Ushtave, radiant peace and happiness to everybody. And it's been a while since I've posted. I've been writing comic books, I've been selling back issue comic books, just working to improve myself, not only on a mental and spiritual level, but also materially. And in Zoroastrianism, a balance between material and spiritual is essential. And I guess I wanted to touch on something because there was a video I put out that seemed very misunderstood. Kind of didn't get the whole point of the video. And I think part of it is that we live in a time of social media where the attention spans are shorter now. And a lot of it is because when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, on average, if I would get information for a short period of time, it would be like watching a 30-minute television show. But nowadays, we live in a time where you have YouTube videos, and a lot of times the time span in which you have to pay attention to it is anywhere between like 1 minute to 10 minutes, generally much shorter. So, but it was the video which, it's not one of my favorite videos that I've done, not because I disagree with it, but it just was not well put together. But it was the video, Capitalism versus Socialism, Zoroastrianism is the third option. And I got some comments putting words in my mouth that I didn't even say, claiming that Zoroastrianism is not anti-capitalist or pro-asceticism. Well, I never said anything like that. And, you know, accusing me of being a Marxist, as if the only alternatives are either John Locke and Adam Smith or Karl Marx. I mean, there's much more to human thought than just that. So, but all that aside, I just want to put it for the record. If you look at the video, when it says Zoroastrianism is the third option, it was a criticism to both socialism and capitalism. So if you just went on the title alone, I don't think the person who ranted even saw the video. But I'll reiterate it though. My issue with capitalism, as well as socialism in a Marxist sense, socialism is much more broad. You can go back to socialism like the Diggers, which is pre-Marx, in 1649. But my issue is that they're both highly materialist philosophies, and they look to curing the world materially so as to heal the ideological. But the sickness is not in the material. There's nothing negative about the material world, other than how we create it to be negative. And it's the mind that creates negativity in the material world, because everything comes from the mind. And so I described Zoroastrianism, or Mazda Yashni, as the third alternative, because what Zoroastrianism does is it heals the mind. It focuses on the mind. Everything is the mind. So, you know, that being said, any political views that may end up being expressed on this channel, inadvertently, I just want to say for the record that it's just me. That I'm not making the claim that it's what Zoroastrianism's about, but it's more how I perceive Spain to Manu. In truth, what my political views are. Um, okay, you guys are gonna laugh, and I know I'm gonna sound like a total nerd, which I am, so it's cool. But my political stance is Star Trek. Okay, I believe in a non-scarcity economy, uh, like what's in Star Trek. And this is just me. This is not a Zoroastrian stance. This is just me, and how I perceive the Gothas. I think with the concept of Spenta Manu, which is the progressive mentality, and that is basically what is supposed to propel us on a political level in the present to shape our future. So I think with the progressive mentality, basically the result would be a society a lot like what you see in Star Trek. But that's just my opinion, and that's just how I perceive the Gothas. I'm not claiming that this is all of Zoroastrianism. Because different Zoroastrians have different views, and you could put 10 of us in a room and none of us are going to agree, and that's kind of what I like about the good religion. So just take it or leave it, and don't get worked up over stuff. If I say anything in a political nature, and yes, I am left of center, I am going to put another video after this saying why uh, I identify more with left-wing politics in terms of how I interpret the Gothas. But I want to be very clear that that's just me. I'm not claiming that this is Zoroastrianism overall. That being said, I wish everybody a very safe quarantine in this global crisis, and just spend time with your families, and we definitely got to be pro family. We definitely got to be pro community. Just spend time with your families, enrich yourself, do some reading, um, do some meditating. Take advantage of the time we have. Because life is so short and it's so precious that you really don't want to waste any time. Ushtave and radiant peace and happiness to everybody.